Hello, my name is Linda, and I'm 37 years old. I work from home, and my husband, Jonathan, and I have been happily married for 5 years. Although we don't have children yet, our dual income household allows us to savor life's little pleasures like traveling and dining out. Since I've transitioned to remote work, I've taken on more household responsibilities, which lets Jonathan focus entirely on his career. Over the weekends, he pitches in around the house, and together, we've established a comfortable rhythm in our marriage. Jonathan and I first crossed paths during a group blind date, and his warm, inviting smile instantly captured my attention. After 3 wonderful years of dating, we decided to tie the knot. Jonathan has been my unwavering support, always lifting my spirits with his charming smile. Despite our happiness, our marriage faces challenges, particularly from my in-laws. Jonathan's family owns a thriving pasta shop, which his father established 17 years ago after leaving a corporate job. The business has flourished, expanding to several branches across the city. When I first met Jonathan's parents, they were dressed in flashy designer clothes, seemingly more focused on making an impression than showcasing their personal style. Our initial encounter was when Jonathan and I visited to announce our engagement, and from the outset, I sensed their disdain. They made it clear that any daughter-in-law would suffice as long as she could handle household duties and avoid causing trouble. They even bluntly suggested I might not be fortunate enough, which was quite hurtful. Jonathan immediately defended me, prompting a slight improvement in their demeanor. It was evident they were straightforward, perhaps a trait common among those in the culinary business, especially pasta shop owners. Fortunately, Jonathan consistently offers support, reassuring me and standing by my side. Despite the security we share in our relationship and knowing we can rely on each other, interactions with his parents can sometimes strain our happiness. However, I've made a conscious choice not to let their opinions weigh heavily on me, especially since Jonathan has repeatedly apologized for their rude behavior. He has reassured me that our dealings with them can be limited to major family gatherings. I've come to learn that Jonathan has had a long-standing strained relationship with his parents. His father, a stubborn man who struggled in traditional employment, grew arrogant after the success of the pasta shop. He often interfered with Jonathan's career decisions, demanding respect as the family's financial provider. Jonathan's discomfort with his parents led him to move out when he started college. Although he is grateful that the profits from the pasta shop helped fund his education and allowed him to secure a prestigious job, he prefers to keep his interactions with them minimal. Since our marriage, I've had very few encounters with my in-laws, which has been somewhat easy since we don't yet have children, allowing us to sidestep frequent family gatherings. We've been content in our married life, but recently my in-laws' business has faced financial difficulties. In the past, a pasta shop could thrive on good food alone, even with a gruff owner, but times have changed. Online reviews and social media now play a crucial role in shaping a business's reputation. Their shop has received numerous negative reviews with complaints about the owner's curt demeanor and untidy service from the waitstaff becoming common. It seems their initial success led to complacency, and this has now cost them dearly in terms of customer satisfaction and business viability. Once popular dishes are now unfavorably compared to instant ramen, and negative reviews are multiplying, severely damaging their reputation. Unwilling to adapt to changing times, my in-laws' business is facing a steep downturn. They clung to outdated methods and attitudes, which ultimately led to the closure of their shops, including their flagship location. Acknowledging the severity of their situation, they uncharacteristically reached out for help from their son, my husband Jonathan. In a desperate plea, they said, "Jonathan, please help us. At this rate, we'll end up on the streets." Jonathan had foreseen this predicament and responded with a blend of frustration and wisdom. "It didn't work out, did it? I warned you that arrogance would have consequences. You need to understand that customers are paramount, and if you treat them carelessly, it will come back to haunt you. You dismissed my advice as naive before, but this mess is of your own making. You need to reflect on your actions." His stern words shocked me. They were unlike the kind-hearted Jonathan I knew. Yet beneath that firmness was a deep love and concern for his parents, a quality that only made me fall for him even more. Despite their pleas, Jonathan firmly insisted that relying on us wouldn't solve the core issue: their attitude and approach to business. Defeated by his blunt refusal, they left only to return a month later looking dejected and stripped of their luxury possessions. Even after selling everything, the debt is overwhelming. Please, Jonathan, we don't have anyone else to turn to, they begged, their pride swallowed by desperation. As my husband stood there, arms crossed, contemplating what to do next, I felt a whirlwind of emotions. While I had never been particularly fond of my in-laws, seeing them so humbled stirred a complex mix of pity and reluctance in me. Their plight highlighted the complexities of family ties and responsibilities, challenging us to navigate the fine line between support and enabling poor decisions. Witnessing their dire circumstances compelled me to suggest, Jonathan, what if we sent them a monthly allowance? My proposal caught both my husband and his parents off guard. They stared at me in disbelief. Linda, are you sure? Jonathan asked, his voice laced with astonishment. Yes, I affirmed. You've always wanted to repay them for supporting you through college, right? Jonathan hesitated but eventually nodded, recalling his past intentions. Well, I might have mentioned something like that. His parents seized the moment, pleading once more with their heads bowed. Jonathan, please, we're working hard to pay off our debts. Can you at least help with our living expenses? After a brief moment of contemplation, Jonathan agreed. Initially, he decided to transfer $3,000 monthly to them. However, sensing the urgency to help them stabilize and rebuild their lives, I suggested we consider adjusting that amount. Maybe we should increase it to $4,000 a month, Jonathan. He was hesitant at first, insisting that $3,000 was sufficient, but I pushed back, explaining that my career had blossomed beyond my regular job. Over the years, I had become quite adept at investing in stocks and real estate. I had accumulated significant wealth, enough to purchase luxury apartments and generate a substantial income from these rentals. Unbeknownst to my in-laws, my annual earnings had reached approximately $580,000, granting me considerable financial flexibility. I chose to keep these details private, especially from them, as I funneled a bit more money through Jonathan to support them. This was as much for his peace of mind as it was for their financial aid. During one of their visits, Jonathan's parents expressed their heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thanks to you, our lives are slowly stabilizing, they said, and witnessing their genuine appreciation and seeing them begin to turn their lives around was deeply satisfying. It underscored the impact of generosity and the importance of family support, even in the most challenging times. Jonathan's parents' gratitude initially made him visibly happy, and we both hoped it would motivate them to find jobs and start repaying their debts. However, a month passed and they still hadn't secured any employment. Soon, a more pressing issue arose. They began visiting our house frequently during the weekdays. Our food expenses are mounting, Linda. Could you possibly spare us something to eat? They would ask, starting to arrive around lunchtime. Initially, they would eat and leave. But lately, they had taken to lounging on the sofa after meals and even requesting desserts. Feeling the strain on both our pantry and my patience, I decided to address the situation. Is this arrangement working for you, or would you like some adjustments? I inquired one day, my work beginning to suffer from their interruptions. I have work